Hello everyone, welcome to Learn DAX channel. My name is Siddesh and this is part 2 of the end-to-end DAX project video series where we are going to cover some business problems and then convert it into DAX queries. So for the purpose of this video, we have three business problems. The first is to identify the most profitable product, the second is to calculate sales by the product category, and the third is to calculate the total discount given. So let's start with the first problem, which is to identify the most profitable product. So if I take quickly a look at my products table, so if there are any filters, I'll just clear all of them. Let me check the sales table. Okay, I'll just clear the filter. So if I take a look at the products table, I have certain columns like the product ID, the product name, category, cost price, selling price, manufacturer and warranty period. And I also have the sales table in which I have something called as the unit price. But I don't see a cost price column in this table, and in order to calculate profit I need the cost price as well as the selling price, because selling price minus cost price times the quantity will be the profit that is being earned with every product. So in order to do that, I am going to create a calculated column in the sales table and I'm going to source the cost price from the products table. So I'll just go to the last column in this table and I'll right click and choose new column option. So I choose a new column, I'll call it the cost price, and my cost price will be related products cost price. And if you are first time taking a look at the related function, I have created a dedicated video on the related and related table function. I will leave the link in the description. You can go check that out and come back watch this video. It will be very clear how related function works. So I have the cost price and the unit price or the selling price in this case, and I can simply create a new column and subtract cost price from the unit price and then multiply it by quantity, and I'll get the profit and I can identify the most profitable product. But that's not what we're going to do here. We are going to use a DAX to calculate the profit. So let's get back to our canvas view or the visual view, report view, and I'll create a new table because we are going to need two columns, the product name as well as the profit. So I'll call it most profitable product. So I'm going to break this solution down into two steps. First is we are going to use a summarize function to get a breakdown of the profit by each product. So in the sales table we are referencing the product's name, and because there is a connection between the sales and product, so we can actually using that relationship in the sales table, I can use an argument as the product's name. Now the column that I'm going to calculate in this case is going to be the profit. So in order to calculate that, I'm going to use the sumX function, and in that the first argument is going to be the sales table because we are going to source the selling price, the cost price and the quantity from the sales table. So I'll write sales, and then there will be a difference between the sales unit price, because in the sales table the selling price is called the unit price is the selling price. So this becomes then cost price, then I multiply it by the quantity. So this should give me my profit for each product. So let me bring it here and let me also check the profit. Okay, so for now we are just going by, okay, DAX has given us something and we believe in DAX that this is giving me the right thing, but I want to validate, and we are going to validate this. So if we want to, let's say, check if the profit that I've got for headphones and laptop is actually 1600 and 2500, let's just go to the table view and verify it. So I go to the table view, I go to the sales table, I create a new column, I will call it profit per product is equal to, now it will be the unit price minus the cost price multiplied by the quantity. I'll just close this bracket as well. And because we are validating it for, I believe, headphones and laptop for two values, let me filter down this table so that I only can see laptop and smartphone. So I'll choose laptop and I will choose smartphone. So the product IDs are 101 and 102. So I'll go to the sales table, I'll choose 101, 102. So let's start with 101. It's too much of data for now. And let me pull out the calculator real quick. So the profit is 600 plus 400 plus 200 plus 200 plus 400, which is 1800, which means for my product, for the smartphone, the profit should be 1800. So let me just go here and check that for my smartphone, yeah, the smartphone profit is 1800. 1600 was for headphones. So for smartphone it is 1800. So we have verified one. Now we have to verify laptop. So I'll change this to product ID 102 and I'll quickly pull out the calculator again. And I have, now this is fairly straightforward, I don't need a calculator. 1000 plus 500 times 3, which is 1500, plus 1000, which should give me 2500, which I go here and check, it is 2500. But let's just check once more, just check for headphone. So for headphone, let me go back to this view, let me go back to this table and uncheck everything and go for headphones. That should give me product ID 104. I go here, I select all, then check for product ID 104. I have total as 600 plus 600, 1200 plus 400 is 1600. I go back, I check it, if for headphones it is 1600, which is correct. So we have verified that the summarize the table that we have created for calculating total profit for each product is correct. Now the next part is to calculate the top one, the most profitable product. If I simply sort this by its descending order, I see that the laptop is the most profitable product. Now I want to convert this into DAX. So I am going to do is, I'll simply wrap this whole function inside of a top n function. So I write top n and the first argument is the n value. So the first value, which means 1. The table that I'm going to pass in this is essentially this table that we have created. Now, on what basis are we ordering this particular table? It is going to be based on the total profit column. So I'll write here total profit and it has to be sorted in descending order because we want the highest value to come up first. So if I hit enter, let's see what happens. Well, it is the expected result that we really wanted. So we have verified using DAX as well as manually verifying that our solution is correct. Now let's move on to the second question. So the second question is calculate sales by product category. Now this is going to be fairly simple. All I've got to do is use the summarize function and the column that I group by is going to be product category and the other is going to be the, let me check again, the sales. So the other is going to be sum x of the sales amount. So let's see that in action. So I create a new table and I call it sales by category. You would see that in this video series we are going to use the summarize function quite often. In fact, at some point you would say that this is getting too easy, but yeah, that's fine as long as we are able to create these simple solutions as frequently as we can, and if we are able to make that more like a second nature for us, then it's very easy to build more complex DAX queries on top of these solutions. So let's get back to our problem. We have the product category and I will call it total sales, and that will be sum x sales, and that should be the sales amount because that's what I'm calculating here, the sales amount by each product category. I hit enter. So let me just go back and check. Yeah, calculate sales by product category. So let me see where the table has been created. Yeah, this is the table, sales by category. If I go here, so this is the table that I'm getting by using the DAX query. Now I want to validate this. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is, let me just change the formatting. So in order to verify if what I've done using DAX is correct or not, there is a relationship between my product and my sales table. Okay, so if I pull the product category from the products table and the sales amount from the sales table, I should essentially get an identical answer. So let me change this formatting, and if I compare row by row, accessories it is same, computers it is same, electronics it is same, the total amount it is same, which means that our DAX is correct. So in the initial learning curve of DAX, it's very gratifying to see that the DAX logic that we are writing, and when we validate that using our data set, that it comes out to be correct, and that's how it kind of builds up your confidence of creating DAX queries. Now let's get to the third and final part of this video, in which we are solving the last question, which is to calculate the total discount given. Now this is a scalar quantity, total discount. It's going to be a measure, not a table. So let's get back to our BI. Let's create a new measure, total discount is equal to, but let's just take a look at the data, like what form do we have discount in? Is it the percentage or is it an amount? Let's just check, let's just confirm it before we write a solution. So discount is actually in terms of the percentage, which means if I add all of these values, I'm not going to get the correct output. So this is one thing that we have to observe. Sometimes the DAX can be very easy, but to identify what we are going to sum and how we are going to sum it, that's where the kind of the analysis part comes in. So in order to get the discount amount, I believe I'll have to multiply the sales amount times the discount, which will give me the discount. Like for example, this is 900. So if I say that the discount is 0.1, which means it's 10%. So the discount amount will be 90 rupees. Now how do I get the sales amount? It is essentially, I believe, the unit price minus the cost price into quantity. So 500 minus 300 will be 200, times 200 should give me 400. So the profit, okay, the sales amount is just, we are not considering the cost price in this, because if I observe here, the unit price is 500, the quantity is 2, which means the sales amount is nothing but 1000. But given that we are giving 10% discount on 1000, which means we are subtracting 100 from that amount, so which essentially gives me the sales amount as 100, which means that the discount on this particular transaction was 100 rupees. And so what we are going to calculate here is the quantity into unit price into discount. That will give me the discount on that product, and when I aggregate that for all the sales, that gives me the total discount amount. So this is where the analysis comes in. It's not just taking values from one column and aggregating them and summing them. Sometimes you have to kind of really dig deep into it, like from where discount is coming. Is it percentage? It's a number. How do I get that? So let's quickly go back to our report view. Let's create a new measure. So I will write total discount is equal to sum x sales. So it is going to be the sales unit price. Is it the unit price? Yeah, it is the unit price times the quantity times the discount. Total discount is already used on a measure. Okay, maybe we'll have to use a different measure. Okay, is this the one that we are actually using that we just didn't use? Total discount. Okay, I believe this was the one. Yeah. So I can remove this. I can delete this actually. Yeah, I'll just delete this. Oh, it just got deleted by itself. That's great. So if I see this number as 2.89k, well, so far so good, but we want to verify it, like what we've been doing this throughout this particular exercise or this video series, that we get a value but we want to verify it. So what I'm going to do is I will take a look at the table view again, and let's create another column, I believe. Okay, let's create another column, and let's call that column discount amount, maybe, is equal to, it will be this product of quantity into unit price times the discount. And let's see what happens if we create a new column and I want to sum that column. So if that sum is tallying up with this amount, which is 2885, which means our logic is correct, or we have validated our data. So let me just pull the discount amount on this canvas. Let me convert it into a card, and let me just change the callout value display units to none. And there you have it. We have tallied that the discount that we have calculated is actually correct. So yeah, so we have solved all these three business questions using DAX, and we have also validated that using our own data set. We have understood the logic behind it, and we have given the business solutions to these business problems. So here we come to the end of this second video in this series. I hope you found some value from it. I will leave the links to this data set and to the DAX in the description. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please share it with your friends. And I see you until in the next video. And like I say at the end of every video, happy learning and thanks for watching.